and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Yes, indeed, it is an absolutely beautiful morning. 64 degrees. The sun's starting to come up. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of clouds there, and Evan has returned to the studio. Good morning.
I was waiting for a really beautiful morning to come back.
Yeah.
Well, see the sunrise?
Yeah.
It was pretty.
Yes.
And I wanted to, kind of made you want to go for a picnic or something. The temperature was so nice.
You know, Randy and I have talked about just taking some equipment out and sitting it on the sidewalk out there and just broadcasting all day from outside.
Are you allowed to do that?
Sure. We got a tent.
When you're in charge, you can do anything you want. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good weekend with weather-wise, and we got the homecoming weekend for Rochester. It's a big one.
Yes, it is.
They invited their 1987 state championship football team back for homecoming for halftime tonight.
Yep. September is the month of anniversaries, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. So that should be pretty fun tonight. I was 7 when that team won the championship, and we went down there for it.
I was 3 months when we went to see it.
I don't really remember much about it.
Yeah.
You see the old TV footage of it now because they've been running it on RTC.
Yep.
It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's a long time ago.
That team had First Federal's own Ben Dalton on it.
That's right.
Yes.
Todd Van Sickle here.
Welcome.
Filling in for Tanner Lee today.
The mysterious
Yeah,
voice.
he's at home crying in a cup of coffee or something. I
And
don't
he
know.
may still be in West Lafayette.
I wonder if he knew they were going to lose. That's why he took the day off.
Yeah, he didn't want to have to deal with you guys being in red.
Yes.
That's true. We're representing this morning, right, Todd?
Yes, we are. Ready for tonight. Rose Bowl kickoff.
Sorry.
We got a better chance than Purdue right now.
That's true. Odds are better. Thanks, Todd. I needed that perspective. Well, we also have Labor Day weekend.
Yes, we do.
Labor Day's coming right up. Got any big plans?
I was assigned some shrub duty this weekend, taking out some shrubs, so I'll be laboring in the yard.
It's anti-Labor Day, I think, Todd. You need to get those priorities right.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's out of town, so she's not knowing how hard I'm going to work.
Okay, well, you got some fluff time then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you're
can
not
make
supposed
that
to
work.
labor on Labor
I
Day.
plan on watching lots of college football.
There you go. There's a good answer.
Yes.
Well, we've got some great guests this morning. Rochester Homes is celebrating all year long their 50th anniversary, and so owners Tyler Anderson and Alex Berlin are joining us in a little bit. We'll be eager to hear from them about now being in charge of a third-generation local business.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound exciting?
It does.
Yeah, so that'll be fun to hear from them, and they can tell us what 50 years means and how they're commemorating that. But great local leadership for a long time, and those are great stories to tell, so we're excited about that. Our trivia this morning is around housing. Thought that'd be fitting. What was the 30-year fixed mortgage rate 50 years ago, Paul? You want some choices?
Yeah.
Okay. 10%, 5%, 6%, or 7%?
Okay.
We allow our guests to play in the game too, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking about
I'll
that.
let you guys
Tyler and
answer
Alex.
first, and then I'll give my answer.
Okay. We'll see how relative our rates are. Right now our rates are over 6%
Yes.
nationwide again. They kind of dipped back a little bit, which was kind of nice, but they've been on the rise again thanks to Chairman Powell. He's really wanting to make sure the market moves up for him,
Yes.
so they don't have to do as much, I think. Okay, well, we'll get the answer to that trivia question in a little bit. Let's talk about sports. So,
Homecoming tonight.
yeah, homecoming, mentioned that. Rochester Zebras 2-0.
That's a great start.
Got quite a ground attack again this year, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tonight will be a great game. Temporary scoreboard.
Kudos to the volunteers in the community that took care of that. I'm
Yes.
sure everybody's seen that picture.
That's right.
Bent over like a metal folding chair.
Yeah.
That was an unusual challenge heading into this big weekend.
It made the South Bend News even. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Eric Murphy from Murphy Electric was getting that thing wired up. And
Saw Chris Brown from Rochester Glass. RTC was setting some holes in the sign.
That's
so
right.
I'm sure we're leaving somebody out, but thank you to
A lot of
everybody
good teamwork.
that worked to that. Because
Yep.
you can't do a football game with us. clock and scoreboard. It doesn't seem
It's
like.
not very fun to watch, I don't think.
And yesterday when I left practice, it was green, and now I've been told it is black for the zebras.
Okay.
That's
so it's got
awesome.
some new skin on it too, so I'm interested to see it tonight.
Deadlines really are kind of fun, right?
Yeah, get
This
this
was-
done.
Slam it in.
I mean, it's an amazing feat. You know,
It
where
is.
do you find a spare scoreboard at?
Right? Yeah, you got to reach out to some.
There's got to be a
amazing
good
people.
story behind that, don't you think?
Yes.
I don't know it yet, but we'll find
We'll
out.
find
We'll
it
find out.
sometime.
That's right. Okay, so Rochester's playing Whitco, who's 0-2. Tippecanoe Valley is also 2-0. They're playing Peru, who's 1-1. Caston 0-2 versus Triton, who's 1-1. Winnemac 0-2 versus North White is also 1-1. So we mentioned the college football game and Tanner's Tears. Tell us a little bit about what happened last night, Todd.
Well, the game ended after midnight, so probably bleary-eyed Purdue people today, and
Yeah.
they stayed up late to watch it all. And
I thought Paul had a Purdue shirt on, but it's a
No,
zebra
it's
shirt,
zebra.
so that's good.
Yeah.
7 lead changes in the game.
Wow.
It's a good first
Really
game.
wasn't sure how it was going to go. I mean, Purdue's receivers seemed better than Penn State's receivers, but Penn State's defense and cornerbacks were better than Purdue's. It seemed like, and that's what kind of changed the game right there. It seemed like.
Well, I think you told me yesterday both quarterbacks are 6-year
Yeah.
college veterans. Is that true?
O'Connell celebrated his 24th birthday last night.
Wow.
The same thing with Clifford, the Penn State quarterback.
College players are getting old these days.
College veterans.
Yeah. They're trying to sign a new contract.
It was a good game back and forth. A couple turnovers kind of made the game kind of a little bit. And
Usually you're playing a 1AA school for the first game. This is serious business when you got a Big Ten foe to go against.
kind of like it though. I mean, the season starts off serious, you know.
You didn't like the Patsy games before.
Well, no, I'm an Indiana fan, so we need those games because that's the only way we make it to a bowl, basically, because Indiana plays in the Big Ten East compared to Purdue playing in the Big Ten West. But they had a pretty good chance this year to make some hay in that, and they still might do that, actually.
Well, who's IU playing this first weekend?
The Illini, University of Illinois.
Okay. Now, traditionally, is that a good matchup for them or no?
Because they're in the different divisions, they don't play them very often as much as they used to. But I think Indiana's won the last 3 times at least.
There's a good jinx.
Okay. That's why we have our Crimson on today.
That's right.
Tonight's game. These 8 o'clock games are kind of tough. I wish they'd start that earlier, like last night, 8 o'clock game.
We forget how long college football games really are.
Yeah.
Halftime's longer. It just takes a long time to finish
That's
up.
just the advertising dollars playing their game, and it's only going to get worse, Evan, probably with this $8 billion deal that Big Ten has now.
I think there's some obligation there.
Yes, there is.
Probably.
Notre Dame's on schedule this weekend also. Ohio State Saturday night, tomorrow.
Wow.
They start early at 7:30.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That's a hard hitting game.
Kind of surprised to see that Ohio State is so highly favored. More than 2 touchdowns. And
They got a lot of hype coming into this season,
Right.
don't they?
that's probably a really good position for Notre Dame to be in, going to a visitor's place. The big house. No, that's Michigan, I'm sorry.
This is the Horseshoe,
The Horseshoe,
isn't it?
yes.
In Columbus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't want to get my Big Ten things confused.
Well, that'll be a fun game for tomorrow night. So we got tonight wrapped up tomorrow night.
It's college football season. Tanner has on here MLB, but
Yeah.
for Moose and for you, your benefit, I think the Guardians are still in first place, aren't they?
I do believe so.
I hope I didn't jinx that for you.
I don't know. I would look, but I might be looking up the trivia question.
Well, yeah, I don't want to see
We
any.
don't want you to cheat.
Yeah.
But they're having a
Any type
great
of
year.
research.
Congratulations. And the Cubs fans over here are just waiting until next year again.
You've always got next year.
Thanks.
That's what everybody always tells us. So.
That's been our mantra forever, except for 2016.
Yeah, that was a bizarre one.
Mm.
We'll take it. All right, Todd, tell us some of your Tanner's
Yes,
tidbits.
Tanner prepared us again today with tidbits. Really a great day, 1945 VJ Day. The formal surrender of Japan signed aboard the USS Missouri marks the end of World War II. Missouri still sits in the harbor in Hawaii also.
Oh, that'd be neat to see.
Here's an interesting fact about World War II. We signed everything to close it today, to wrap it up today. It officially began yesterday, in 39.
Oh wow,
Interesting.
it's almost
So-
to the day.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't either until he said that we signed the treaty today, and I went, wait a minute, yesterday kicked off World War II.
Japan kind of hung on a little longer.
Hey, you should have played that little trivia game with us and asked that question.
Nah, I'll be nice.
I don't think we would've
Thanks,
got it.
Paul.
In 1963, CBS expanded the CBS Evening News hosted by Walter Cronkite from 15 to 30 minutes.
Mm.
And a couple years ago, they expanded it to 24 hours.
Yes.
7 by
Can you imagine they did the world news in 15 minutes?
7 by 24 and
Wow.
365.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can start going back that way.
Yeah, focus on positive things. All the news kind of seems bad anymore. Tanner also gave us some days today. It's World Coconut Day, College Colors today. Evan and I decided to participate with
That's
that.
right.
The next one he put out here, I'm not quite sure about. National Lazy Moms Day.
That doesn't exist.
I don't know any,
yeah,
mom
right.
that's, any mom that's lazy.
No.
I think it's you're supposed to make her lazy today, so step up, do extra stuff so she can relax.
Great turnaround, Paul. I
Yeah,
like
everybody
that.
honor your mom today and make sure she doesn't have to do all the things that she does to carry us always, you know?
Let
That's
mom
right.
be lazy for a day.
I'll skip the calendar adjustment day. I'm not sure what that is. National Blueberry Popsicle Day. That kind of sounds fun.
Wow.
And Bring Your Manners to Work Day.
I try to
Every
do that
day. Hey.
Be polite to all your coworkers today.
That's right.
I try every day. My hardest.
Okay, in money news, well, of course, last week was the big Jackson Hole speech from Powell, and he was wanting to talk about interest rates and inflation. So he,
Does that have something to do with Jackson, the hole we were talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
There's a
That's Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Okay.
yeah, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. They've got a conference out there, and they always look forward to the Federal Reserve Chairman speaking. Well, they had a big job this time because the last time they had their meeting, the stock market started thinking everything was really positive and taking off, and interest rates dropped again, and that was the opposite of what the Fed really wants. They really want to slow things down so they don't have to raise rates as much.
It's a topsy-turvy world right now. It
Yeah.
seems like.
So he had some harsher language about pain, economic pain everyone might experience and some of that thing. So just like they hoped, interest rates shot up a little bit after the speech, and the stock market went down and tanked a little bit after the speech. So
We really don't want people to go through pain.
no, I think before that everyone was hoping maybe everything would settle out without much of a recession or unemployment or some of those things that sometimes you see. So it's still too early to know, but they're trying to set expectations so that things slow down on their own. But I don't know if you guys see that happening with people around you or not. Our
At least the
behavior's
encouraging,
changing.
Keep your head up because this too shall pass, you know.
Yeah. And probably pretty quickly in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that affects things, but they're really working hard to set some kind of expectation.
And the thing about economists, you know what the thing about economists is, right?
Tell us, Todd.
They're right 50% of the time and wrong 50% of the time.
It's a good job to be in. The
It's kinda
weatherman.
like weather, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Well, our 10-year Treasury, which mortgage rates kind of track that a little bit since it's a longer-term Treasury, went from 2.6 to begin August up to 3.26 at one point yesterday. So it has had mortgage rates climbing a little bit in conjunction with that. But there's been some good news in labor. A lot of people are working. There's not a lot of unemployment, so it's not like times are so bad right now, like you said, Todd. Tomorrow is National Cinema Day, and you can get movie tickets for just $3 at a lot of theaters.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of neat.
I'm stuck debating between going to Plymouth or going to watch a movie.
Yeah. Well,
It's a tough choice.
do you have
$3 is a pretty good deal.
I
a
know.
movie picked out?
No.
Okay. Yeah,
The Maverick, Top Gun, is an excellent movie. It's the old kind of blockbuster, and
You keep telling me that, and I still haven't made it to watch it yet.
$3 tomorrow. Why not? do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So
Not
that's
to get
still in
those other
theaters?
obligations, you know.
Oh, well, those are fun obligations.
I think they
I've
are.
never
I
been,
think it
so-
is still in theaters.
Okay.
Yes. At least the commercial I saw last night said now on digital and in theaters.
I was reading about this, and traditionally Labor Day weekend is one of the slower theater days, and they're trying to kickstart theaters again.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Well, everybody's out doing lake stuff, busy things, cookouts, family things.
They're worried about winter, and so they're spending time outside.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. All right. I'm thinking about First Federal this morning. You can always bank with us online and with our mobile app. You can download that from your app store. You ought to check out the reviews on that because our customers are really satisfied with that app.
Yes, we try to remain digitally relevant and with all the latest and greatest. And we've got an excellent app where you can do all your banking needs, checking your balances, transferring money, paying bills, controlling your debit card. And speaking of debit cards, we're getting ready to roll out a contactless card. So
I'm excited about that.
we tap that too. So
Remember when the chip cards first came out and it was so slow?
Yeah.
It seemed like?
Yeah.
Well, that's gotten a lot faster, but these taps are even faster than that, I think.
I think the number of retailers that has increased significantly over the last few years. Last number I saw, somewhere over, you should be able to tap your card in more than 80% of the retailers.
That's great. That's a good
Not
number.
retailers, retailers. That's where you buy things at.
My favorite feature with the app is the mobile deposit.
Yes.
You get the random check from
Mm-hmm.
the state of Indiana or something, for instance, and then you can
Yeah.
quickly deposit that and move on with your day.
We have a lot of people using that, and it's makes it convenient so you can bank really 24/7, 365. Kind of like the news.
Yeah. I think Walter Cronkite would have used the mobile deposit.
Of course he would.
Yeah, you can't get away from the desk on that.
That's true.
Because he was, a big technology person with space and things like that.
Okay. Good perspective, guys. All right. Well, I'll offer Simply Free checking accounts. That's one of our claims to fame, and Simply Free business checking accounts. We don't charge a lot of fees there. And when you open a new checking account, we'll give you a free gift. Right now, we're giving away wireless earbuds or a First Federal coffee tumbler.
Great gifts. And Tanner last week said he was surprised at how quickly the earbuds are moving. You choose your colors with those.
That's nice.
So it's great gifts. And if you don't need to open an account, which you can, by the way, online now with First Federal. So go to our product pages like the checking or savings page, and there's a button on the bottom of those where you can open an account online. If you don't need to open an account, you can always refer a friend to get a gift.
Yeah.
It's a good option. Hey, we're also rolling forward with a good mortgage home loan option right now, and that's for purchases, a $900 discount off standard closing costs through the end of October. We got 2 months to find the home and lock in an interest rate, and then we'll even rebate you up to $900 on closing costs.
And it just so happens we have some people here to help you find a home too.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see if they can get one put together by October.
We don't want to make any promises.
I've heard modular's a little bit quicker than site built. We'll see.
Might be a good question to ask.
Okay. We also have business lending. Contact Lindy Breeden for more information. And one of the features of this latest economy is a lot of job changes. And, when you change a job, you've been somewhere for a while, a lot of times you've got a 401k, you got to do something with that. And Mark Blubaugh and Brian Bell and Wendy Pfeiffer at First Federal, we're an LPL registered advisor agency, and we can help people roll over those 401k balances into an IRA and start having a little bit more control over those long-term wealth building investments so you're ready for retirement. So you ought to think about that if you've changed jobs recently and you're not sure about how to plan kind of for retirement or that future or what to do. They're great at giving some good advice there and helping you implement a plan that'll get you where you need to go.
If you have any interest, give Wendy a call and she'll locate Mark and Brian and connect you and make sure they'll even come out and meet you on your own turf even.
Yep, our phone number is 574-223-2128. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
All right. Well, now we get to the fun part of the show.
Yes.
Enough about Cronkite and World War II, okay? Let's talk about something relevant. We're glad to have Tyler Anderson and Alex Berlin here from Rochester Homes. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
We're delighted to have you. We got a special anniversary this year.
Yeah, 50 years, pretty big deal.
That's a huge deal. You think about, we could name probably on one or two hands the businesses around Rochester and Fulton County that have been making an impact that long. So we'd love to hear a little bit about the history of Rochester Homes this morning. So Tyler, your family's got a long history here. 50 years, it hasn't even changed family hands.
Nope, not yet anyway. For sure. Nope, I've grown up in this business. I've started off since I was a little kid, going to job sites with my dad and going over to my grandma and grandpa's and seeing, all the pictures on the wall of how the place has evolved over the years and listening to the stories, the good times, the bad times, how it's affected different people throughout the community. And it's been fun to watch it, to see where we've come and where we've gone in the last 50 years. Like I said, I remember, going there for the first time working. I had no idea what I was getting into as far as the business is concerned.
What age were you when you first started in to get your hands dirty at the plant?
So my dad made me do work for somebody else before I came to work for Rochester.
That's a neat idea.
Yeah, but so I ended up starting there when I was 19 years old. I'd go on the road and did a lot of stuff in the field, and then I started working out in the plant. But I'll never forget the one thing that really stuck out to me is I had to go deliver some parts to one of our builders down in Cincinnati. And I show up to that job site, and I've already seen what it's affected, what Rochester Homes has done for people here locally. But then I get to this job site, I see 10 other guys working. It's like, it's more than just, Fulton County and
That's a good
and
point.
the surrounding areas. It's affected a lot of people throughout the Midwest. So it's a pretty cool thing that we got going on.
That's a neat perspective, thinking about all of the builders and crews that are working to get these products set for the end customer.
Yep.
First Federal was founded on home lending, and that's our specialty today, but we've always taken a lot of pride, and Dick Belcher did, on being part of that home transaction. That's a big deal for a family.
Yep.
So you think about how many families you guys may have impacted over the years with great home product. It's exciting.
Let's see, Alex, how many have we built since the start?
Well, we're right around, I think, like 8,700 homes by the end of this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so if you start to think about a single home project, we've got 100 guys on the production line right now that are going to touch every single home. And then we've got another 25 people in our office here, in Rochester. But then our builders have typically anywhere from 5 to 10 people on staff. And then they've got, guys who are doing HVAC contracting on site, basement contractors, excavators. We're talking about, close to at least 100 hands touch these homes, all the way down to family and friends helping install, lawns and move in for the first time.
I've heard of that.
I mean, so if you think about it, this company in 50 years has easily touched over 1 million lives throughout the Midwest, and that's just, we spent some time this year looking back at photo books that Milo and Betty have, and just kind of being humbled by, what started as one guy saying, hey, I'm going to plant my flag and do what's right for my family. I don't want to move to another location for another job.
Let's do it right here.
I want to do it right here. We can do it. We can do hard things on our own, and started and now it's touched so many people. So it's been fun looking back this year on that.
What a neat experience. And Tyler, you're talking about, being a younger guy, younger kid, on job sites, seeing cranes doing things or seeing products built in the factory. And I only had like a Tonka truck and a sandbox. I didn't have a cool experience to be able to grow up around something so big, creating something. I mean, that's like every boy's dream is, building something that lasts. So that's really cool to hear you're speaking about that a little bit. So thinking of 50 years, stuff changes over time. We've talked about a few things here already this morning with the news or college football. They didn't used to have night games probably, did they, Todd? I don't think they did. Who knows? So talk to us a little bit about some of the things that maybe have changed a little bit over the years, if any, and then also some of the things that you're wanting to make sure don't change with your business.
You want to start off with product?
Yeah, I mean, I've got less of an insight than you do probably. Just in the 10 years that I've been there, we've grown a ton as a company. So 50 years ago when it started, it was all mobile homes, single wide mobile homes. So we've come a long way into IRC code building. We haven't done mobile homes in 20 plus years. Everything is the same exact code and standards as a site-built home would be. It's just built in pieces off-site, and then we move it to the job site and set it on the foundation. So, the 30 years before I got here, there was a ton of change, and then in the last 20 years, our ability, Tyler brought a lot of this to the table, and having, going from a single owner to 2 owners now, we've got two heads are better than one. So he's been able to really focus on tackling online efficiency, online systemization, so that every home that we build has certain quality standards, and we're replicating our processes and quality all the time. So it's been a massive undertaking, but it's been a lot of technological advancement. Not through robotics or anything like that everyone's talking about nowadays, but just about getting systems in place and following what's true for every home.
Great replication and process.
Yeah, our business is all about people. I mean, anybody can go out and start the most state-of-the-art facility that you could think of, but if you don't have the right people to operate your business or understand, how the product comes together on the job site, how to influence people in a positive way, you really don't have much. The product doesn't just build itself. It's not something that you have robotics into a plant and just let the factory run. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, but we're fortunate enough to have a really good, great group of guys and gals that help put the product together.
You're really talking about culture, and I think that's one of the neat things about having a small business in America. Building a business where you live is culture and kind of that local impact that you have, but also that family atmosphere. And Rochester Homes is big on family. Saw a good overhead shot commemorating the 50 years of everybody at the plant, and that was really a neat thing to see. Are there any other 50-year things? I think I see a logo on a shirt over here that is commemorating that. Talk to us about kind of where we're at.
We actually got all 3 logos here.
So I like that.
This is the original. This is where my grandpa started here, and then I don't have the other one.
I think on the back of the shirt. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of fun little marketing stuff.
That's
like
neat.
I said, Tyler ran over to Milo and Betty, who are the founders, Tyler's grandparents, and grabbed an old photo book. And we spent a lot of time looking through that, at old pictures and old stuff that they had done.
I've seen some of those popping up.
Yeah, we put them on Facebook and shared that, and that's really started some conversations with people who've worked with us in the past and kind of reliving, some of the fun times they had at Rochester Homes, or the impact we made on them. And then we've taken some time to highlight, what we call Milo's logo, the original one, and then Kenny obviously had a huge impact on the business. He's the one that really took it from single-wide mobile home production into modular construction, what it is today. So we've been highlighting his logo on a lot of stuff too, and then obviously with our 3rd generation impact, we've always got our brand on everything too. So it's been a fun year, and we're taking some time to celebrate that with employees. We're trying to take everything up a little notch on plant lunches and the stuff that we do to kind of give back to the employees on the line too. We're trying to up one notch and just say, hey guys, thanks for being a part of this 50th year.
When you're doing so much introspection and kind of developing that humility, but also pride in what has come before you and kind of where you guys are at now, is that impacting kind of your future vision of the company at all, or what you want to continue on doing? How's this kind of interesting 50th year affecting you maybe as you look forward?
I mean, I think over 50 years, time always evolves. We're not out to set records by any means. We're out to come to work, but be able to have a steady business model.
When you mentioned quality.
Yeah, quality and slow, steady growth. Whenever you see a lot of these companies, especially in our industry, they'll want to take off as quick as they can. Me and Alex have visited plants all over, and we've seen how these companies will take off, and the success rate seems to be pretty low when you want to have massive growth in a short period of time. So we're not out, like I said, we're not out to set huge records. We're wanting to make it a good place for people locally here to work, and obviously support our builder base, and continue to keep doing what we're doing, and continue on the legacy.
That's exciting. being in the home lending part of it, like the housing markets, it fluctuates. So it speaks to what you're talking about, Tyler. With you're going to go through some busier times, and you're going to go through some slower times. That's just the nature of kind of the housing industry in America. Right now, we're facing kind of some interesting demand, and you know, because of the Great Recession a few years ago, probably had a big impact. It's hard to note exactly all the impacts that came into it, but we're short some homes for the amount of families that have been created. I think I saw something where there's been 12 million families created in the last 15 years, but there's only been 7 million homes built. So is that something that's good for Rochester Homes looking forward, and is modular building suited for helping fill that gap, or how do we get there?
Yeah, I think we absolutely are suited well to fill that gap. Not necessarily because we're some new technology or anything, but because there's less and less people learning how to build homes. I mean, there's less and less people that are learning trades in this country. We all know that, so that affects home building obviously drastically as well. So
That's a good point.
we can be a centralized workforce of good people who know how to do their jobs, and if we can put out 250 homes a year, we can help make a dent in that. And then especially, modular can do almost anything if you really want it to, but it takes a lot of time and effort on site once you get into the really complex product. Modular can really shine when you're into affordable housing. The thing that we really need is affordable housing, affordable rent for a lot of people right now, and we can really help produce that. And we can often do it a little bit quicker and a little bit more cost effectively than a site builder can because of our business model.
Well, and I mentioned inflation earlier. Things are more expensive now, so that may be creating a nice niche for a quality home that maybe can hold down some costs for somebody that's looking to get out of a rent situation and own something. Maybe this is a good opportunity for them also.
Yeah, if you think about it, we get the ability to pinch our vendors a little bit. Not that we want to beat them up to nothing, but when you build 250 homes a year, we get a little bit more say-so in controlling our costs than a smaller builder who's only doing 5 or 10 homes does. So hopefully we can help fight that ever-rising cost of home construction right now a little bit more than the smaller guys can.
Well, what started 50 years ago, we've heard, is still extremely relevant today. And thanks to you guys for taking on that ownership of Rochester Homes and moving it forward. What do you guys think, another 50 years?
At least 150,
you
right?
You don't have as much gray as I do.
It's
coming. So we got a long run here yet. Well, we just wanted to thank you guys for the impact that Rochester Homes has had in the community. Obviously, your father Kenny and grandparents and your mother Julie, just everything they put into this business to make it what it is today, and then you guys taking on that responsibility, a good quality local business, a lot of families and lives involved, and you guys are doing a wonderful job, so congratulations on 50 years.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Thanks, Evan. We absolutely could not do it without every single employee, customer, vendor that helps share in this 50th year celebration with us. So everyone who's listening, thank you for all that you guys have done to help make Rochester Homes what it is today.
I appreciate you guys sharing that larger impact. That was really neat to hear about today. All right, well, let's have a great Labor Day weekend. We want to finish our trivia question here. You guys can have an opportunity to weigh in. What was the 30-year fixed mortgage rate 50 years ago? 10, 5, 6, or 7?
Kenny always talks about the 80s being 15%, right? So
10, right?
I gotta guess 10, yeah.
Paul?
I'll go with them and go 10.
Okay, it wasn't so bad then.
No.
7.25% was really what it was 50 years ago. And then I looked, 49 years ago it was 8, 48 years ago it was 9, so it started going right up right at that point. And I'm really impacted by inflation, so we'll see where it goes from here. Let's keep it in the 6s, guys. What do you say?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that would be
I like
a
that.
great result.
I love it.
Okay, let's end our show this morning. It's been a great show with these words of wisdom from Paul Samuelson, an American economist. Right 50% of the time, maybe wrong 50, Todd said. Good questions outrank easy answers.
I like those words of wisdom.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you guys so much for coming in, and we'll talk to you again next week.